be catching Jordan Yamamoto. Big start for him as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Paul Severino and Todd Hollandsworth. Before we look ahead, we look back, Todd, at what was a great weekend for the Marlins starting pitchers.
Well, they gave themselves chances to win ball games. That's the most important thing. We talk about the starting pitching, the number of guys who have been in this rotation, a couple of guys who are becoming, well, really impressive. I mean, you look at what we saw. Obviously, from Pablo, we saw the great changeup. Eliezer yesterday, great secondary stuff. Daniel in between, another fantastic start, and that was an improvement off of a pretty decent first start for him. So this rotation's starting to come together, Paul. We talk about how are they going to win baseball games. It's going to be the offense. Can they rely on the bullpen and all the guys that are down there? It was a great weekend to watch the starters deal.
Yes, and hopefully that can continue with Jordan Yamamoto. He'll make his third start. The first two have been rough. We've seen him at his best, and the Marlins are hoping that he can get back there starting tonight.
Well, hopefully he gets his confidence back. Listen, he's made some mistakes. He's been made to pay for some of those mistakes. He's probably thrown, for me, Paul, a few too many strikes. I think that's really what it comes down to with Jordan. The walks are pretty reasonable. I mean, I know it's a limited number of innings that he's thrown, but the hits are way too high. The slugging percentage has been very, very high against him over the last few starts. So simply put, he's got to throw better strikes. I don't want to see him steer out of the strike zone, but just throw better strikes.
And we'll talk a little bit about his velocity and how that's changed from this year to last year, as well as the series, as this game unfolds. But in terms of the series between these two teams, this is the second time that they have met. A little over a week ago in New York, Mets won that series. They've won 5 of the last 6.
Well, I'm going to put this on the offense, that the offense has to start clicking. I mean, we saw in the Atlanta series, and we just talked about the great starting pitching. You see the numbers. Cervelli had a big first game there, of course.
This year, here is a look at the lineup put forth by their first-year manager, Luis Rojas. Brandon Nimmo to lead things off. He's out in center field. Jeff McNeil back in the starting lineup. A couple of days banged up. We'll talk about that. J.D. Davis, Michael Conforto, Robinson Cano off the IL. Pete Alonso in the 6 hole tonight. Dominic Smith, Wilson Ramos, and Ahmed Rosario. So Jordan Yamamoto ready to go. And again, this is a big start for him. He wants to get back on track. Marlins as a club want to get back on track. The time that he faced the Mets specifically, you can make a case that was the best start of his career. It was his last start of the season last year. Career high 10 strikeouts in that game. This one is yanked down the right field line, but just foul. Here at the Marlins batting order, Jonathan Villar in that top spot has become customary there. Jesus Aguilar the DH. Matt Joyce hits third. Brian Anderson 4, Lewin Diaz 5, Francisco Cervelli, Eddie Alvarez, John Berti, and Magneuris Sierra. And that's all up against Robert Gazelman for the New York Mets. First pitch swing and a miss for Villar. For Gazelman, second start of the season, 31st of his career, mostly a reliever, 155 total appearances in the big leagues.
Let's go ahead and get you the AutoNation scouting report to follow up those numbers. Stretching him out, that's going to be the case for Gazelman tonight. He's transitioning back into the rotation, made his first start, as you mentioned, last time out. 45 to 55 pitches is what has been reported. Now, no Miami Magic.